Okay, so we've got the ram air ducts on. I gave it a second coat, which proved to be just fine. I did not need the third coat. Everything filled in beautifully. I did a little bit of finish sanding, around the edges and stuff. I added the coil cooling tubes on the back side, and I am at a solid 50% success ratio on that. This one worked out beautifully. However, the one over here, I needed to, well, first off, because of the difference with the electronic ignition versus the other, I had to change the way this pointed and where it went. I drilled a hole here thinking that would be about perfect, knowing that there was a little air dam inside of here, but I thought I could overcome it. After I drilled the hole, I decided that nope, that was not the right way to do it. So I filled that back in, drilled a new hole here, had it set up. It felt nice and solid and everything. Took it back to my shop where it's heated so that it could dry overnight. And overnight, this tube settled. So I was unable to get the air dam on today. So I took my torch and warmed it up and loosened that up. I was able to bend it up back where I want it, but unfortunately that means I'm gonna have to redo this joint. So not a big deal, but a deal nonetheless. Something for you to watch out for. Just because it feels like it's set up does not mean that it is. This is an aftermarket deal. The crankcase oil fumes come out of here and normally just go right through the hose and then down into the drip catch. This helps to separate the oil and allow it to drain right back into the engine, which I have found to be very beneficial. I don't like adding little bits of oil constantly, and that helps reduce the amount of oil that you have to add, so I appreciate that. We're in the process of putting the propeller back on. When we took it off, I told you to be sure and pay close attention to the washers and stuff, so I just want to take a minute and show you what's going on here. These washers are called Belleville washers, sorry. And these are actually cone-shaped. You'll see this is the high side where my finger is, and it actually is dished on this side. So convex, concave. And you put those together so that there's a gap in the middle, so that it's like this. And that will give spring tension on the lock nut. As the propeller absorbs and dissipates moisture, that will give just a little bit of play as you go. So be sure you get those installed properly. I am actually getting all new washers, nuts, and bolts. These nuts, by the way, are one-time use. Even though they're a nylock nut, you're supposed to replace those each and every time. And these are not grade 5, these are not grade 8, these are aircraft bolts. So there is an actual aircraft spec on them. And actually I'll pop one of them out for you quick. And you'll be able to see where the threads are on that? That is different. Your shoulder is a specified length. So I would say just go ahead and get the right bolt. From what I understand, the grade 8, even though it is super strong, has less of a fatigue factor than these aircraft bolts. So go ahead, spend the money and get the right ones. Alrighty, onward and forward. Oh, as you hook this up, just follow the instructions, torque it down lightly all the way around, crossing over, and then torque it down to your final spec. And again, crossing over just like you do a tire or a head or anything else that's important. Be sure and clean these surfaces extremely well. Even a sheet of paper worth of corrosion can turn this into a go, no-go when you check your propeller to make sure that your propeller runout is within spec. So be sure and clean the corrosion off really well. Alrighty, talk to you later.